Hello, and welcome back to the channel. I'm Jackson, and today I'm going to be doing a food review, specifically a cereal review. I'm a big cereal eater, so I'm really excited to be eating a couple cereals that I've never tried before today with you on camera. Let's do it. The first thing I'd say about this cereal, I was in my local Whole Foods the other day, and this is a cereal I usually glance over. We're reviewing 7 Sundays. It's a gluten-free and also grain-free for this one. It's usually one of those cereals I glance over because it's usually like over $8 for a moderately sized pouch. So that usually kind of puts it out of my range of how much I want to spend, because you could spend a lot less on cereal. But they were on sale for something like $6. So I thought, yeah, let's give it a try. Next, I wanted to talk a little bit about my selection criteria for cereal. And of course, I already mentioned I'm gluten-free, so that's kind of a strict one for me. But beyond that, because cereal is something I'm eating pretty much every day, I am looking for it to be kind of a healthier cereal, or at least something that is like reasonably healthy, not just a bowl of sugar. What am I looking for? I'm usually looking for the amount of protein to be at least as high as the amount of sugar, if not higher. That is basically kind of like a calculation in my head saying like, okay, if I'm going to be eating sugar, added sugar, I want to at least be getting some nutrition for it. And usually when I eat cereal, I add in things like blueberries, hemp seeds, peanut butter, just to add a little more like fruit and protein and healthy fats in there. Today I'm just going to eat it straight up to get a really direct taste. So of course cost, it's got to be affordable. Don't really want to spend $10 on a box of cereal. Although I am willing to spend a little bit if it really checks all my other boxes. And the way I rationalize that is that, this is going to give me several meals for, $7 or $8, whatever like a really great cereal is. So yeah, maybe I'll change my mind a little today. We'll see. It's got to taste good, right? That's the one I'm missing. It's got to taste good. I'm pretty wary of cereals that are like just compacted protein powder. But yeah, there's a bunch of those like keto, like really low carb cereals, and those I'm a little wary of personally. Getting into these specifically, so these cereals came in kind of 2 different general modes. There's this oat protein cereal and this sunflower cereal. So this one's gluten-free, this one's completely grain-free. Of each of these 2 types, they had like several different flavors. I kind of went with a fruity flavor for each, super fruity for the oat and real berry for the sunflower. And so getting into the nutrition on these, pretty similar across the 2 types. But this one is 7 grams of sugar and 5 grams of protein. The other thing I'd call out about this is that it has 3 grams saturated fat. It has some coconut oil in it. This is the same 3.5 sat fat, which isn't the end of the world to me, but just feels unnecessary. Like, I don't know why we're just putting coconut oil in things that don't really need them. Maybe it'll add a little bit of a more rich flavor. But generally I don't like just like putting in saturated fat for things, especially like cereal, which really doesn't need it. So yeah, and then on the ingredients, this one, first ingredient, upcycled oat protein. Then we have like cassava, or corn, cassava starch, maple syrup, coconut oil, real fruit powder, and then a few kind of flavoring things. The ingredients look pretty clean, I'll say. Pretty like wholesome. Although like reading upcycled oat protein, I haven't eaten a lot of foods that have the ingredient oat protein listed. So just as a consumer, I don't really know what that means. If that's what that's going to taste like, what the texture will be. But like this, in a cup of this, there's 24 carbs. So like this is not a low carb cereal. It has the corn, it has the cassava starch. So like I think that to me is a lot better than when it's like just protein. And this one, I should say, it has more sugar than protein. So that goes a little bit against that criteria I mentioned, but because it has the 5 grams of protein, like at least you're getting some nutrition for it. The ingredients look pretty clean, and you can always add more protein through your milk choice or through things like, nuts, seeds, peanut butter, etc. And then this one, pretty similar in general. The first ingredient is cassava, and then the second ingredient is sunflower protein. I think that's all I have to say about it, and now let's taste it. I mean, this with oat milk or almond milk. It's kind of my typical milk of choice. It's kind of like a Cheerio shape, has some pink dust on it. It's interesting and different. The flavor is definitely different from I wouldn't call it super fruity. I would call it kind of fruity. It actually doesn't taste that sweet. Like I think it would be good if you added blueberries to kind of like bring up the fruitiness. The texture is pretty good crunch. It has a little, like the oat protein, I think, or the cassava also, has a little cardboardiness. Has a flavor that definitely stands out as different from a lot of other Cheerio-shaped cereals I've tried, including Three Wishes. I don't know, like, it's a little cardboardy, but I don't mind a little bit of that. I don't mind it not being too sweet. It doesn't feel like you're just eating like a compacted protein chunk. It feels like it has like a real like crunch and a little like texture and airiness, which I like. Yeah, I feel like I would eat this, but we'll save the final thoughts for later. Okay, now going over to the sunflower, slightly different shape. It's in a lot of ways similar texture. I can taste sunflower, which like isn't really my favorite flavor. The flavor of the sunflower and other kind of like base ingredients comes through a bit more than the like actual flavoring. Like I don't get that much berry. It's a little more bland. Like I'd still eat it because like I could eat this, but I think I like it less than the oat one. Yeah, they're both like got like a decent texture. They both would be definitely brought up by adding other fruits, banana, blueberry, you name it. I love adding like peanut butter, almond butter. That also kind of like makes it a little tastier in my opinion. So I've had a bunch more bites. I also tried each of them just straight up out of the bag. For my, I'll give them a rating. I'm going with a 7 out of 10 for the oat and a 5 out of 10 for the sunflower. Yeah, my thoughts are yeah, pretty solid, pretty decent ingredients. Kind of wish they didn't have the coconut oil. Kind of wish they could maybe be like a little more protein or a little less sugar, but like honestly not too concerned about that. And yeah, I just like how the O1 tastes better. I'd say like still at the normal way they're priced, I probably would not buy this, but when on sale, I would consider buying this one. Definitely, and I'd want to try the other flavors too. Even this one, like maybe once in a while just to mix it up. Although yeah, I definitely like the taste of this one more. And but if you have other allergies, then this might be a really good option for you because it's fully grain free. It's just sunflower and cassava. Hey, so I wanted to create an addendum to this video and actually update the ratings I gave to each of these cereals. I'm filming this like 2 to 3 weeks after I originally did the taste test and everything. I am updating my score to each of the oat and sunflower cereals to a 6 out of 10. I originally gave the oat 7 and the sunflower 5, but after sitting with them longer and going through the whole bag and everything, I realized like I actually reasonably do like the flavor of each, and even like snacking on them, the addition of the coconut oil give it a little bit of that addictive quality of like when you're eating popcorn or just some like slightly processed snack that has like just enough oil to keep you kind of craving more. I definitely found myself just munching on it a lot. So I think the reality is like I really like, I'm happy eating both of these cereals like taste wise. I think they're both pretty solid. And I would be excited to try other flavors. It's the nutrition where I'm a little bit more meh, and the cost where I'm especially meh. It's like an 8-ounce bag for normally retailing for like $8. Probably not going to buy that most of the time. But if it's on sale, I would consider it. Last thing, I'm not a food scientist or nutritionist or anything like that. So take everything I say nutrition-wise with a grain of salt. I'm just someone that kind of pays attention to what I eat, pay attention to the grocery store, and I feel like I've developed a bit of an intuition of what I like and what's reasonably good for me. But yeah, that's it. Thank you for watching. I'll see ya.